Are you listening? Damn.
Hey guys, I'm Courtney,
And I'm Josh.
and welcome to the Infinite Balance Podcast.
We'll navigate parenting, relationships, health, fitness, and so much more.
So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's hang out.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hello, hi, how are you?
We're back, just the two of us. For
Yeah.
This round at least. We have a couple more interviews coming up eventually, but it's been a while since I feel like it's been a while since we've done
It's
this.
been like 2 weeks.
I know, it feels longer than that.
I know.
Yeah.
But today we're going to talk about the holidays.
And all the craziness that surrounds it. Especially, and I know everybody's probably tired of hearing it, but during times of COVID.
And I mean, when you guys hear this, it'll be after Thanksgiving. So we're talking more about like more preparation for the holidays. Kind of what you can do to stay like on track at holiday time, and how to just still enjoy the holidays, keeping it small. I mean, you might not be keeping it small. You might be doing the same thing you always do. But I think a good majority of people are keeping it a little bit smaller this year. So I know I've had friends who are like, I just don't know how like to keep the spirit and like the merriment of Thanksgiving when it's just a smaller group. So we'll just kind of talk about our feelings on that and what we're planning on doing.
Yeah. And it's going to be a challenging time for everybody this year, I think, especially for kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no easy way to put it. It's just something that, unfortunately, it just is what it is right now. You know, and everybody's going through a lot. Everybody's, you know, nobody has money right now. Bills are very tight for everybody. Everything's incredibly stressful. Nobody knows what's going to happen between now and Christmas time. And, you know, it's a lot of anxiety, a lot of anger, frustration, a lot of sadness, you know, things like that. I just think the best thing that we can really try to do is try your best to keep your head up, you know, and it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's really what you have the power to do right now, you know?
Yeah. And I know like for our kids, it seems like they're still doing like Thanksgiving-y stuff in school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really changing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know Philip came home today and he had a bunch of Thanksgiving stuff. They had like a little pageant.
It was cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. Michael's doing stuff for Thanksgiving at school. So I think at least in our area, the schools are doing a pretty good job of keeping it status quo, which I think, like you said, it can be really hard for the kids. So I think it's really good to keep it as normal as possible for them.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the biggest thing. And, you know, if you don't have kids and you're listening, or you're on your own for whatever particular reason at this point in time, you know, the best thing you can do is just do what's good for you. You know, take care of things that you want to do. You know, try to treat yourself. Try to bring up the positive side of things, and, you know, just take care of yourself. You know, I think that's the biggest thing that everybody needs to remember this season, because as everybody knows, you know, depression tends to breed sickness. You know, and I think the important thing is everybody's got to keep your head up, you know?
Yeah, you have to do what you need to do for you. I know I have a lot of friends who they've had their house decorated for Christmas for a while, maybe not outside, but inside. And one of the things that they always have said is that they hear people are like, you know, even their husbands will be like, hey, like, it's way too early. It's not even Thanksgiving. Like, what are we doing? But I think the important thing to remember is that you need to do what's going to make you happy, you know, especially if you're working from home. Like, if you're working from home, decorate so that you have joy in your life, because it's a crazy year. I mean, you can do whatever you want.
I think it's safe to say that this is pretty much an unprecedented year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I know people who, I mean, I'm not this person, but there's people I know who have had their trees up since before Halloween, and they decorate it for Halloween. They decorate it for Thanksgiving, and then they're going to decorate for Christmas. And normally I would be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But 2020. Do what you need to do to bring joy to yourself.
Yeah.
And I think with the holidays being crazy and uncertain and people having to change what they're doing for the holidays, I think it's super important to just treat it like it's a normal holiday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go all out. Like, even if there's just 2 or 3 of you, get that turkey. Don't do a turkey breast. Get that turkey.
Yeah, do what you
like,
can.
do all the fixins. Have all the desserts. Like, enjoy it. Enjoy the holiday. Like,
Grab some sake like I have in my cup right now.
or wine or Prosecco or beer or whatever you want to drink. Tequila.
Sake has positive enzymes. It has good digestive enzymes.
Okay.
But no, it's 100. You know, that's exactly what you got to do. You got to make it as joyous as you can. We're being dealt this situation where I think everybody's so used to being in control of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the palm of your hand, you can hold everything in your life, and everybody has computers, game systems, whatever. You know, and not everybody, but the vast majority. And I think the biggest thing is that we are all being forced right now to look at life like we don't have any control.
Mm-hmm.
But you do. You do have control. You have choices, and you have the ability to make whatever you want to make out of the situation.
Control the controllable.
Exactly. You know, like today was a perfect example. I posted about it on my Instagram. Out of nowhere, I was just in the wrong mindset to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately just felt completely overwhelmed, and you know, my head was circling around a lot, and like my mood just changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So instead of, like, I came downstairs and I was like, I really want to work out. Like, I just want to work out. And I just couldn't stop this whole mental process. And, like, by the time I came downstairs to work out, I just got very tired, you know. And so I just decided to do some yoga and meditate and just put on some stuff that relaxed me and just let my mind wander. And I think I did that for an honest hour. You know, like I just sat there and I just let my mind just escape me for a minute, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it like rejuvenated my day. It felt really good. And it's the thing that I could have control over in that moment, you know? And I had the choice to either freak out about everything that's going on and things that we're facing on the everyday basis, the potential for schools closing and blah, 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 all that stuff.
The list could go on.
Yeah. And so I just decided to allow myself to take that break, you know?
No, and that's so important, you know. And I mean, I do have advice for people who, you know, are keeping the holidays small, whether it's by choice or being forced to, or their families kind of have made that decision for them. I think it's super important to kind of almost enjoy that time. I mean, I know there was a holiday, it was a Christmas, it was Michael's, I think, second Christmas. And it was just going to be like us, my parents and my sister, which normally for Christmas we did like big things.
Yeah.
And so
I keep forgetting, Philip wasn't with us then?
Nope.
There's a thing we said in the last episode with Chris, like my mind just skips out on
I know. Yeah.
certain points
That was that was the last Christmas without Philip.
Okay.
Yeah, because Michael's third Christmas, Philip was 1. No, he was
that
just
was when
born.
we went to go see the tree?
Yep.
Okay.
So when Michael was 2, we decided, you know what, since it's going to be pretty small, like, let's do something different. And I know right now you can't necessarily do something different, but we did something different. We woke up Christmas morning, opened presents, got in the car and drove to the city. We stayed over, had dinner out, and it was just, it almost kind of like recalibrated things and brought us back to like, we don't need to be doing these big, huge holidays to still enjoy that time with family. And I think that's something that everyone needs to focus on, is whether it's one person or 10 people, just enjoy that moment with your family. Like, even if it's just the people that you live with and you see every single day, it is one day where there's nothing else that matters, just your family. Like, don't be checking the news. Don't be on Twitter. Don't be on, like, enjoy being so fully present in that moment. And I guarantee you will most likely feel like, oh, this was a pretty good holiday because you're just taking all the other BS out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's entirely true. And, don't forget the things that do work for you.
Mm-hmm.
If it's in your routine that you work out and stuff like that and you feel like that's going to help, do it,
Get it in earlier before your family comes. You start eating all the good food,
Nothing burns calories better than fired up
Metabolism,
yeah. So.
And I think it's good too, like, one of the things we said we were going to talk about today is what we're doing to kind of stay on track. And I know I've been looking up different kind of recipes that maybe are a little bit healthier, but people won't necessarily know that they're healthier. But I'm not going to limit myself. I'm not going to not eat delicious Dutch apple pie because, like, I also don't follow any nutrition plans where, like, that food is off limits. It's more of a knowing what I need and what I don't need and when I feel full and when I don't feel full. It's more intuitive. But just, I know there's a lot of different ways to prep for it, being careful. If you do want to watch what you're eating the couple days leading up to it, be mindful. Like, don't go overboard and stuff yourself so that you're sick just because, like, you can. Enjoy the food you want to enjoy, eat what you want to eat, but be aware. I think that's the biggest, just be aware.
Yep.
Don't go crazy with it. Like,
be mindful of what your body tells you.
Yeah, when your body's like, hey, we feel full and we know there's some banging delicious desserts on the other table.
Take them home.
Let's just take a breather.
Do
like,
what you gotta do.
Yeah, take them home with you or wait. It's like, just don't overindulge just because.
Yeah, and one day's not going to kill you.
No.
A couple
you can
of
get
hours
right
out
back
of the
on
day
track.
or one day is not going to kill you.
You can get right back into it on Friday.
Yep.
They always say you need to give into those cravings. And so Thanksgiving is like the biggest test to it. And I know, like I said, I'm not worrying about it. I will reset on Friday.
Yeah. And it's not that big of a deal. Most families are done eating by, well, I don't want to say for everybody's family, but like usually 7, 8 o'clock, everybody's like done with the food stuff and, dishes are done and,
just relaxing.
You're enjoying the night. So take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Whatever you had. Then 8 o'clock, stop.
Thursday is a guilt-free day.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's ways to go about make that cranberry sauce from scratch instead of getting it out of the can.
We talked about that last night.
Yeah.
And to those of you that enjoy canned cranberry sauce, I fully apologize, but nothing should hold the shape of the container that it was in
for that long either.
Ugh.
But like, make that cranberry sauce from scratch, make the apple pie from scratch. It might take a little bit more time, but there are ways to enjoy. If you're really worried about it, there are ways to enjoy the food at a slightly healthier level. Get creative.
Like you said, I think the biggest part of Thanksgiving is everybody gets themselves mentally into that mode of like, I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat so much food. And like, by the time the end of the day comes, like, you're like, oh my God, my stomach hurts. I'm so lethargic right now. Yeah. And I used to have a big problem with that. If I went to a place that I used to go to an all-you-can-eat buffet because they had the best selection of any buffet that I've ever been to. They had sushi there. So I would take advantage. I knew, all right, I'm skipping lunch and I'm going there for dinner, But I'd still stuff myself so full. And if I just took the time to kind of relax or picked maybe half of everything that I picked to enjoy, I would have walked away a lot happier and less crummy feeling.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a perfect example. You can enjoy everything that's on the table, but instead of taking, like 2 scoops of mashed potatoes, take 1 because you don't really need the 2.
Yep.
I mean, there's also, like I said, there's ways to enjoy it in that sense too, where you're enjoying a portioned version of it. Where you still get to eat it, but the main thing is there are ways that you can do it, but don't not let yourself enjoy the holiday because you need to follow a diet or you need to stay on track. It's a couple of hours. Because let's be honest, it's not even the full day.
Yeah.
I know, like Christmas, we wake up, we have a huge breakfast. We don't really have a lunch because we have a huge breakfast. We'll have like a small like appetizers for lunch, and then we have like a huge dinner. Nobody that I know has a huge breakfast on Thanksgiving. So like,
We did one year.
you did?
When me and an ex lived in an apartment, we were excited to have the space that we had in the apartment, so we invited everybody there for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
We went to I think it was my family's house for lunch and then her family's house for dinner.
Oh man.
It was the fattest
Fat Thursday, man.
day I've ever had in my life. You know, but yeah, to go back to your point, like when I was on Weight Watchers, when I lost over 100 pounds on Weight Watchers, and that was during a Thanksgiving thing. Like I forgot when I started it, but that's irrelevant. It's a couple months in. It's Thanksgiving now. It's becoming the holidays, and I still had like 2. I'm talking my size full plates of food, and I still had a little bit of room for dessert. And as far as the scale said, there was no difference.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not a numbers person. But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say that one day is not going to destroy you.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so many people who get so like, oh, it's the holidays. All right, I'm not going to start working out. I'm not going to start nutrition because
I'd rather start after.
Yeah, and that's fine, but you don't have to be afraid of the holidays. You don't have to be afraid of eating the food. You don't have to restrict. You don't have to limit. Like, be aware. Don't go overboard. Be smart, but enjoy it. Like, just enjoy the one day.
Yeah, and not for nothing. Not, not to be a pain or whatever, but also, wouldn't that be a great time to start?
Yeah.
Like, go for a walk. Who cares? Go for a walk during the morning. Go for a walk the following morning.
Yeah.
Even just that, it just helps your body metabolize and burn something.
I know. I'm excited for this holiday season to kind of prove that, like, I can do it. I can make if I can make it through 2020 and 2020 holidays, going strong with this, like with my fitness and health and nutrition, what can I get through?
And mother of 3 kids, wife of me.
Which is a 4th
to
child.
Running your full-time job, going to your full-time job after months of not being there.
I was home basically from December to basically August.
You literally had a newborn, and then you went back to work like 2-3 weeks after that.
Well, no, 6 weeks.
You went back 6 weeks after that?
After she was born?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was born January 22nd. I went back a little bit more than 6 weeks. I went back second week of March.
I don't know why I thought it was so much sooner.
I don't know why.
That's the way 2020's been, though. But, like, it feels like it was such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then, like, literally within, like, a week or two, it was COVID.
Yeah, I was back for 3 days.
And then we were both home. And then you had to go back again. It's just been, a roller coaster ride.
Yeah. And it's been like that for everyone. That's my point. If you can get through 2020, you can get through the holidays, like, you can rock anything. You got this.
And that is literally all of us.
Every single one. If we make it through 2020, we're good to go.
And get ready for 2021.
I saw a kid's shirt in Target. This is just a little random. That said, like, 2021, the best year yet. And I was like, that's really, Target? We're going to put that jinx on it already? Like, it's a little too soon to be doing
when we all said that about 2019. And then
about 2020.
And then within a couple of months, everybody was like, I think we judged 2019 a little too harshly.
2019 or 2020?
2019.
What was wrong about 2019?
See, that's how bad 2020's been. Because at the end of 2019, everybody was like, oh my God, this has been such a weird year. It's been
Oh, I
rough.
don't remember that.
Yeah, and then there was a couple of memes like once we got into quarantine, like officially within, March, April area, there was a few memes floating around like, "Oh, don't regret 2019 now, do you?"
Yeah, I don't remember anything
Yeah.
bad about 2019.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's true though. Like, come on, Target. I love you, Target. But like putting that on a kid's shirt, like 2021, the best year. No, no, we are jinxing it. Don't do that.
Yeah, not to put too much of a negative connotation on, the next year already, because everybody's already in Christmas, right after Halloween, and, everybody's jumping ahead, and there's already things coming out like, oh, be prepared for 2021 and blah, blah, blah. And I think that's the biggest problem, too, is everybody's so focused on being scared about the media and everything that's just coming at us all at once from every direction. Even kids are getting it. Poor kids are getting it from their school teachers. Like, you don't think they're talking about it throughout the day, or they're, the teachers are like, their moods are a little bit off. Like, kids are intuitive to that type of stuff, and hats off to the teachers that are going through it and playing it off for the kids. Like, you guys are rocking it too. But I think the world needs a massive mindset change right now, where 2021 is going to be the best damn year, and 2021 has not been the worst.
2020.
I mean, 2020, yeah. 2020 has not been the worst,
I mean, for some people, it hasn't been it hasn't been. We're not trying to take away from the people who have had a really shitty year.
No, I'm just
But
comparing it to...
For us, it hasn't been the worst year. And there's a lot of people who, they found a lot of blessings in 2020.
And I'm honestly coming from the mindset of like, hey, there was at least a year where the plague was around. So that's not here. This hasn't been the worst year in human history, and humans have come hundreds of years past the worst years,
Yeah.
Not that, whatever. And a lot of people have had hard times this year. Me and you are going through hard times at the same time that we're going through good times.
Yeah.
So it's been a roller coaster for everybody. And I think it's just about having that mindset change. Like it sucks. Nobody wants to be positive in such a downer time.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to be down. And to have a positive mindset of like, oh, things can still change. Things can work out for the best. There can be this or there can be that, or all of a sudden things can change and whatever. But that's really the mindset that we need in order for change to come and happen, And I think that's what people need to kind of get wrapped around, is that not the stuff that's happened. Your past is your past. That's for all of us. But your future is what you make of it,
Yeah. And I mean, also, I could just be talking about myself here, but for a year that has been a very long year. I mean, I know there were some months like March and April that they felt like a year within themselves. But for a year that's been pretty long and that's had a lot thrown into it, this year has also flown by. Like, I think of it like in 2 months, we're going to have a 1-year-old.
Yeah, and when you
which
look
is
back,
crazy.
like, even with everything that we've done with our businesses and stuff like that, like, when you look back on it, how fast did that feel like it flew past?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I look at some of my Instagram business posts, or like some of the edits that I did to my webpage and stuff like that, and I was like, oh my God, that was almost a year ago now,
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just amazes me because it felt like yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, it literally, for a year that has dragged on, has actually gone pretty quickly. Time is relative.
It's when you're having fun, time flies. But, so those are some things I plan on doing. I plan on sticking entirely to my intermittent fasting, which is why I was talking about 7 or 8 o'clock. Just stop,
Yeah.
Because that's when the family's done. That's when you're already so full that you can't stand it anymore.
You gotta
So
loosen those pants up.
Yeah, or maybe have a cup of coffee or just some water. Nothing's better than just a nice glass of water, especially after all that food. Like, you're just helping your body out.
Yeah, and I know I'm starting Friday with like a reset through Beachbody. It's a 3-day reset, and like, I'm not gonna not enjoy Thanksgiving because I know the next day I'm starting like some sort a version of a cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm also going to be smart because I'm not going to make that cleanse harder for myself by like just shoving my face. I'm going to enjoy the food and just be smart.
Right.
You know, there's like, and that goes back to there are ways to do things that will still keep you on track while enjoying. You're stopping by 8:00 so you can continue your intermittent fasting. Just because it's a holiday, it doesn't mean it's an excuse to throw everything out the window because you still have to wake up the next day and start over. So
it's just a matter of like, listen, if you're gonna indulge, like let yourself do it with love. You know, there was somebody who said once, "I'm not telling you to stop eating chocolate." She said, "I'm telling you that when you eat the chocolate, make sure it's the best damn chocolate made by people who love chocolate. And you eat that chocolate and you put on some romantic music and you enjoy that chocolate." And it's the same kind of thing. Give yourself the love and respect to be able to enjoy what you're experiencing. And just don't forget that your body needs the same support. So like we were talking about, like give it some water, give it some rest, like do what you have to do. Don't wake up after 3 hours of sleep and go out Black Friday shopping, like
nobody go Black Friday shopping, please. Wait till Cyber Monday.
it's gonna be tough this year, but
there are a lot of stores who are not opening like at crazy hours and aren't opening Thanksgiving because you still have to do crowd control more than ever. I mean, I know I went to the supermarket today and they were limiting how many people were going into the store again, which was actually really nice once I was in the store and I wasn't being trampled by people trying to get stuff for Thanksgiving.
But that's one of the things I consider kind of a blessing out of this whole situation is people really started evaluating like what they need from things, like what they need from life. Like, do you have to go so crazy over this? Years past, we've had news stories of people getting trampled right after, and stores,
the most thankful day of the year.
Yeah, and at the most thankful day of the year, and people are getting trampled over the latest product or the latest toy, or whatever. It's not that crazy, guys, and there's no reason to jump out off the table right after you're done eating and then go wait online, like some stores were opening 5 p.m. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm so happy the stores aren't doing that this year.
People
literally were moving Thanksgiving dinner to Thanksgiving lunch so they could eat, nap, and be ready to go to stores and shop from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's insanity.
And
if you're one of those people, I'm sorry, I just called you insane, but I just don't vibe with
insanity. That's crazy. But like, and I know people who used to do that, and I'm like, but what kind of savings is that big where you have to do this?
And let's be honest, all of those savings are not really savings. It's just what it actually should cost you. Everything's just so marked up.
That's very true. And to be truthful, there's a ton of Black Friday sales that I used to watch, when prices were best for things throughout the years. And there's usually like the prices you get for Black Friday sales for certain things are also exactly the same sales at different times of the year.
Oh, yeah.
For like electronics, like if a new model's going to come out, you might want the newest and greatest, and that's fine for you. But that same TV that you're about to buy Black Friday, when it's summertime and people are going outside, they put those TVs on exactly the same crazy sale because they want to make money off of them, and newer TVs are coming out.
Yeah, that's a big thing is looking at seasonal things like TVs. People don't buy TVs in the summer because they're not watching TV in the summer for the most part. Those are going to go down in pricing. Then, I'm trying to think of another example, but I like in reverse, but I can't think of anything like that. But there are just things that we spend all this money on Black Friday that if you actually think about it throughout the year are just as cheap at different times if you're a smart shopper.
Right. Doesn't make sense.
All right. We ready for some lightning round?
We're going to do lightning rounds?
I just feel like we hit our points. That's why I asked.
I was trying to come out of the blue with that sound.
Okay, I'm so sorry I ruined that. You can do it again. There it is.
You have a question?
I do.
What?
What is your favorite holiday memory from when you were growing up?
It's one that I don't remember all the details of, but when I was really, really little, in the house that when we first met, my mom was still living in.
Yeah.
So that house used to be an old, like, broken down shack when we first moved into it. And I think it was almost like a miniature farm house type thing.
Okay.
And so when we moved in there, because my parents were dirt poor. So we moved in there, and it was me, my 4 siblings, my parents, and I remember Christmas one year. The thing that stands out for some reason is I got a Mickey Mouse 45. For those of you who don't know, it's a record that, like, McDonald's used to give them out and stuff like that. But I remember having it. I don't remember if I got it for Christmas. But I remember another record that I got, because apparently we had a record player. I don't know whose it was, but I had access to it. And I got a record called The Dancing Ducks. And it was like a roller skating duck soundtrack where it was like these ducks just sang famous songs, and there was like 50 songs mixed in.
That's cool.
But, like, I remember that holiday because it was just so much fun with me and my siblings, and we were in, like, it seemed to us as kids like it was an ocean of presents, and it wasn't even so much the presents that stood out. It was just like everybody was having a good time, and
Nothing else mattered.
yeah, just having fun, I don't know how old I was. I don't remember, but I remember it distinctly.
That's a good memory. I like that. That's good. Do you have a question?
I do.
Okay.
So your question is, what food are you looking forward to the most on Thanksgiving?
Apple pie.
Apple pie?
I love apple pie.
I thought you liked pumpkin pie.
Oh, I hate pumpkin
Entirely,
pie.
just kidding.
That's my sister. No, I'm very, very excited. I love, like, a nice warm slice of apple pie.
I want to make so many American Pie references.
Please don't. Please don't ruin that moment for me. I'll never eat pie again, so please don't ruin that for me, because I really, like, apple pie is, like, one of the very few desserts that I have a hard time saying no to at any time of the year.
Did you try it with the cheddar cheese on it?
No, I might try it this year.
Yeah.
I
I didn't know about this, but my brother and my mom used to eat apple pie with,
they
like...
still do.
Well, yeah. But they would put a slice of cheddar cheese on it, like, not like American cheese, but like a good real slice of cheddar cheese, and put it in the microwave for a couple seconds until the cheese melted, and apparently it's great. I've had it a couple of times. It's actually pretty good.
Apparently my grandfather used to do that.
Really?
Yeah. I think I told my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, Grandpa used to do that.
Maybe it's a well-known thing. I just
Didn't
never
know.
knew.
If you knew, please let us know, because I am like maybe I'll do an Instagram poll about this.
Yeah.
I'm very interested now in if people do that or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to make an Instagram poll, but also tell us if you don't see the Instagram poll. Tell us.
And Kerrygold cultured cheddar cheese is very good on it.
Kerrygold anything is good.
Yeah.
Love Kerrygold.
It is.
Okay. What is a tradition you would like to see our kids carry through their lives from the holidays? Whether we've started it or a tradition you would like to start with them. Something that, like, when they are adults, they look back and they're like, man, I loved that we did blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Or we ate blah, 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 like whatever. I sound like a turkey when I said that.
Oh my God. I just got the image of you as a turkey.
That's weird. So weird.
Just to have fun, like there's a lot of there's a lot of traditional things that my family had. There's a lot that your family has, and I've seen certain families that, like, make it crazy. They have these traditions and they're, like, psycho about them, And I don't ever want to be that. Like, if it's something that carries on, I want it to be something, like, wholehearted and pure that they fully enjoy,
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I can't pick anything out just because it might come this year, it might come next year, whatever. But whatever it is, I just want them to thoroughly enjoy it and remember like the love of our family from whatever that may be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
No, I think that's a good, I mean, like, it's not really a tradition, but I know to answer my own question a little bit, I want our kids to always enjoy the holidays and know that, like, that's a fun day with their family.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, there'd be days where I was like, I don't want to hang out with my family all day. Oh my! And I mean, our kids are going to go through it. Every teen goes through it. But, like, I also did appreciate that there was, 2 days of the year that, like, it was just family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was not seeing my friends. I wasn't making plans. Like, if we went to the movies, we were going to the movies as a family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what that was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so special to just know, like,
that there's something.
that there's a day that you are going to look back on and be like, damn, I'm so happy that it was just the family.
Right. Oh, I agree. Sorry.
You guys should tell us which one you think is better. That's another Instagram poll for another day.
What, the lightning sounds?
Yeah.
You got to get more extreme. Nobody knows what it is. Sounds like you had a little mousy sneeze or something.
Was that better? I just did it very drastically twice. I don't know.
No, say GG. Just make it a noise.
GG.
There you go. That's a little better. That's closer.
Felt like that was scary.
So it's my turn, right?
Yup.
I have a couple of them, but I don't know which ones,
Just pick one.
If you had however much money it took to do it, what would you do starting tomorrow?
Like for the holidays?
Anything. Like career goals, life goals, things you want to do.
I'd pay
skydiving.
I'd pay off all of our debts. And then...
But that doesn't count, though, because that's such an easy...
Well, no, there's more that I would do.
But I mean, just like if you only...
If there were no debts.
If you only had the money directed at what you want to do the most.
Because there's different avenues that I could go with that.
Oh, yeah.
So 90s. So there, like I said, there's different avenues I could go with that. Because I could, like, go all in on furthering education stuff, like doing not just like the health and fitness stuff, but going for a master's in sports management, because that's something I would like to do at some point. So I could do that avenue. I could...
She's stalling for time to pick her answer. That's what she's doing.
I'm saying the different avenues that I could go. Like that's avenue one, or I would go.
The point of the lightning questions: what would you do?
But that's the point. These are the things that are coming. Like I would have to choose between these. So anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, God, just let me answer my question.
Right now.
Just let me answer the question.
Somebody comes in with a briefcase and a gun.
Stop. I would like go all in and buy a facility that we could run.
Like a prison?
Yep. I'm going to put you in prison and you're the only person and nobody is helping you. Let me answer the question. So angry. God.
I love you.
Love you. Anyway, I would go all in to buy like a facility where we could open our business that we've dreamed about, and we've talked about combining our strengths to have one business. So, and maybe that's what I would do. I would do that. I would go all in to find the biggest, best place with everything that we need to get our business going that we would love to have one day.
Nice. Nice. She's winded.
You make me so infuriated. I love you, but you gotta just let me speak sometimes.
No, that's not always my style. You know,
I don't care.
it is for my clients, but we're beyond that. It's just for you. Gotta give you that push.
That's one word for it.
GG.
Now I've got to collect my thoughts.
All right,
They're all out the
while
window.
you're collecting your thoughts, I want to add a little bit to that because going along with the podcast stuff that we've been trying to strive for, the video stuff and whatever, and I think that was a really good answer with the facilities that you would open.
When you finally let me get to it.
Mm-hmm. But I would definitely splurge on that too. Like I would expand that idea just because there's so much that I feel like me and you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much potential that we have together that we are dying to just put out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think literally I'd have to like sit down with a notebook and like tally up everything that could contribute to that.
Yeah.
And just be like, boom, hammer it out. Now we're done. Let's go. You know?
Have all the dirty work done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to say that too, like if that situation were to come up too, I also think it's very important to give back.
Mm-hmm.
I think money itself has a very like karmic flow to it.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be all just greedy,
Yeah.
stuff that. So, we would also be giving to charities. We'd be offering things like, hey, this couple's starting out, or these people need help, or these kids, or whatever. And I think we, at that point, we'd be so successful that we would be like just giving.
I think that's definitely, I think I would love it if we could, if this was a situation we came into where that we could pour everything into it so that the people who wanted the services we offered but literally just don't have the money for it, like we could give it to them for free for a year.
Yep.
Like give back in that sense too, of like, because I know that's always been like, that's hard for a lot of people, is that there's things that they want to do health and fitness wise, but they literally just don't have the money for it. Like I'm always very like respectful when people are like, I don't have the money. I want to, but I don't have them, because for so long that was me.
Yeah.
There's so many times, even now, I'm like, oh, I would love to do that, but I don't have the money, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be great to give back that way, like giving
I
services
think that's what
for people.
we're trying to do with the show too. I think that's a good part of it. Like, this is what we have to give back right now. Because of everything that's going on and whatever, and people don't have the money right now to, subscribe to whatever, or go to a gym, or if the gyms are even open, And I think like our main idea behind this show is to bring health, fitness, wellness, tips like that to people, not just parents, but also people who are having a really rough time, and they just can't find other avenues to take. And that's why we've had some of the guests that we had, because, anybody can do anything. That's prevalent in Kristen's episode, that's prevalent in Chris's episode. And I think that's our drive behind the show, is to really like hit that home and give back what we can, and to literally share with everybody what we have to share.
I agree. If you could make one prediction for something you would like to see happen in 2021, what would be?
A global awakening.
I meant more about, just you, but okay.
Well, because I feel like it's happened for me, and this year has provided a lot of opportunity for growth for me. Mm-hmm. And I think even in the last couple of months, I think I've made incredible leaps and bounds with my temperament and with, just things that I've been dealing with throughout the year and throughout my life, and just really like, okay, no, it's time to make these changes that I've always promised myself I was going to make. And just becoming more aware. Like, I hate using the term woke because it's so played out and it's so, I feel like it's so stupid, but that's the only term that I can really use, where you realize that this planet is not the only one. I'm not the only person. There's so many, spirits and bodies and planets, and like in the infinite of existence of everything, the point of we're one little speck, but we can also be such a significant little speck. I think that I would want to have kind of a worldly awakening with that, so that we can get over our crap. We can get over our egos, we can get over ourselves, what we think is right, and a lot of people are going to hear this and be like, well, that'd be nice, but, and that's what I mean, where we can be aware of things that are going on and happening and take other perspectives on them and just take some time, and not be so judgmental, not be so quick to jump to one side or the other, and realize that there is an in-between and there's also an outside, stuff like that. And I honestly 100% do believe that we are getting closer. I think we're very, very close to that point. And I think that's why we're seeing some of the situations come up that we are seeing now in general. And I won't go too deep with it, but I think people are waking up every single day. I think there's millions and millions of people waking up every single day and realizing what's really important, Where like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it was about your clothes. It was about the brands. It was about this and that and the other thing. And now, we're expanding and we're becoming more than that. We're about credibility. We're about information. We're about knowledge, And I think we're on the verge of that. So that's what I would really like to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you ready
Probably not, but I'm going to say yes.
for your final question?
Yes.
What's one thing that you would like for our kids within a year from now? It could be anything. What's the biggest thing that you'd want,
I want them to be happy.
Well, that's easy.
But it's true. I don't want them to be worried. I don't want them to be stressed about anything. I don't want them to be anxious about anything. I don't want them to be so affected by the outside world and their kids. And I think it's time that kids got back to being kids and enjoying being kids. And that's what I want for our kids. I want them to fully enjoy being a kid and not have to worry about anything else.
I like it. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's, especially right now, there's such an uncertainty. And I think, like you touched on before, the kids feel it, and teachers do a great job of keeping it out of the classroom, but it's going to happen because, yes, it is part of the world right now, but
everybody's human.
I would love for this time next year for our kids to have nothing to worry about except what toys they want.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Be happy and just be kids.
I like it.
Bam.
Boom. Crack. That's the lightning
Pop.
storm.
I don't know. I thought we were just making sound
Snap,
effects.
crackle, and pop.
I thought we were just making sound effects.
All right, well, I think that pretty much sums it up for this episode.
Thanks for joining us.
This was kind of a sort of on the fly recording because of how the week's going to be and, whatever.
Let us know how your Thanksgiving was.
Yeah. Let us know what you've been thinking of all of our episodes and the stuff that we've been trying to provide for everybody and let us know what's going on. Let us know what's going on with you.
Yes. We want to know how you are. How was your holiday?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? What's going on? Let's just talk. Let's hang out.
Let's chat.
All right, Delilah.
All right. We love you guys. If you want to hang out and support the show, we have a link to our Patreon, other ways to listen, how to get in touch with both me and Courtney, how to get in touch with the show, and everything in between. Hit us up. We want to chat. Even if you have nothing to talk about, hit us up and talk about
Just
it.
be like, hey.
Yep.
Just saying hey.
There's a reason we met, and we want to talk about it.
Yep.
So, bring it on.
And I know you already had Thanksgiving, but I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful weekend, and can't wait to chat with you guys next week.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.